I'm starting. So first thing is you have to install Java. So for installing Java, the first thing you have to do is install from here. First you can type like download JDK8. You can click the first link. So you have to create an account for this Oracle View
Okay.
account. You have to create an account. After that you will be able to download. Without creating an account, you cannot download the JDK for this uh, system from the Oracle site. So first of all, you have to create an account, then you have to go to Java downloads and you have to install the JDK8. After that, the second step is downloading the Eclipse. For Eclipse download, similarly, now download Eclipse for Windows, click the first link, and after that you will get IDE, and download 64-bit IDE, and after IDE, then open it. In that you will select download Java Enterprise version per developer and then install Eclipse. Okay. After that, you will go here, open Windows R, then type CMD, then your CMD will open. In that you check Java is installed or not. For that you have to write Java space hyphen version. If it is correctly installed, it will show you Java version 1.8.0.60, else it will show the command is not recognized. Okay. Then
Okay, sir.
open Eclipse. Before while opening Eclipse, you will be given a prompt. Choose a workspace. Workspace is the area where you want to save the like the program which you are creating. So you give your, like you browse a file and upload it. So you the similar way you have to browse a space where you want to save the what your project. Like let's say for example, if I will open it, you will able to know what the first thing is. Yeah. So here you have to browse. Once you browse, you can select any area where you want to store. I have already created my file, so I don't have to select another time. It is auto selected the previous workspace which I was working. Okay.
Okay.
Then we can launch Eclipse. Okay. The first step which we will be doing is, after the Eclipse open, is we'll click this one, that is Java Perspective.
Sir,
There is
which one, sir? Another time, sir.
this one, the this symbol in the rightmost top corner. So it will
Okay.
open the Java perspective. There is another one perspective, that is Java EE perspective, and there is a debug perspective. So we'll be working on Java perspective. Okay.
Okay.
So similarly here also, once we have to create a project first, new. Similarly, we have to create a Java project. You can say demo. Your Java 1.8 is selected by default, which is installed in your system. Okay.
Okay.
Then click finish. Okay. So what will happen? This one will be created with the name you have given. This is the Java project, and
Yes.
inside that we will have SRC by default. We have JRE system library by default. So inside SRC, what we have to create? We have to right click and create a new package. Okay.
Okay.
And give the name and click finish. Like give the name and click finish. So once we create our package is created, inside the package we'll be creating what? A class. New
Class. New class.
class. New class, you'll be giving the name. We'll be selecting this one and clicking finish. So once we do that, our class will be created.
Okay.
Okay. So this JRE system library is already present. Means these Java jars are already present while we create a Java project. But if we want to, then the okay, Java jars is present. So what we are now doing is we'll be using Selenium. So for that we have to import Selenium jars also. Got my point? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. So my point now, my point is I have to import Selenium jars so that I can use it, because by default Java jars is there. But here once I write a program, I have to use both Java jars and Selenium jars. So using both the jars, I will be able to create a Selenium script. So Java
Okay.
jars are already present by default because it is a Java project, but Selenium jars are not present. So to like map this project to respective Selenium jar, what I have to do is step is right click on the project,
Okay.
then go to build path,
Okay.
then go to configure build path.
Okay.
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 Then click on add external jars.
Okay.
Once you click add external jars, so I have already downloaded Selenium standalone jar. I will show you how, where to download. So once you have downloaded it, select it and then click open. Once you click open, it will get added here, like I have already selected it.
Okay.
So then you can click apply and close. Okay.
Okay.
So after that, what will happen is one reference library uh, structure will be created in which that specific jar will be present inside it.
Okay.
Reference library refers to all the jars which are not present by default, and we map it from our external source. Okay.
Okay.
So to download it, you can go. Write it, download Selenium standard server, and click on the first link. Once you click it, so here everything comes. So you can click the latest stable version. Don't click on alpha version or beta version because they are published for testing purpose. That is not a stable version. Always click on the latest stable version. If in future it gets changes to 3.2, then also you click on 3.2 and use it. Now it's 3.1.41, so we are using 3.1.41. Okay.
Okay.
You can, if you also want to go find the previous releases, you can also click here. The previous releases is also there. You can click on it and download. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, every version is there. You can click on previous versions and go through it. And if you need the preview, like if your system is not compatible with the new version, you can go with the older version also.
Okay.
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 Now this is the one point we did and mapped it to our project. Then the third step is we have in which you can say is browser we want to run the script. Let's say for example I want to run the script in Chrome. Now say
Okay.
Chrome is itself a standalone application for this operating system. Got my point?
Uh, no,
Is
sir.
Chrome what?
Sorry, sir.
Chrome is a standalone application, right? For this operating
Yes.
system because
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So what we have learned in Selenium, right? We don't can't handle standalone applications. So to open or to instantiate the Chrome, what is the necessity is like we have to use a third party because Selenium directly cannot handle it to open it. So the third party which we are using to handle and open the Chrome is Chrome driver.exe,
Okay.
right? So what
Yes,
is
sir.
the point is we can download it also similarly. Here you can download it. So before downloading, the first step which you need to do is you just need to check the version of Chrome which is present. For that, you click this hamburger sign, 3 dots, and there you go to help. There you go to about Google Chrome. So here you'll be seeing that it's version 81.0. It will showing you the version. Okay, so what you will be doing is, in the download Chrome, you will be downloading that 81.0 because your Chrome is now 81.0. Not download the 80.0 or 83.0. Means only download the exact version which is present in your system. Else it will not support and it will create a compatibility issue and the script will fail. Means Chrome will never be instantiated. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So the point is you download the version which is present in your system. If it's 83, then download 83. If it's 81, then download 81. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you downloaded, you just copy it and right click here and paste it. Right. There will be one paste symbol. You will paste it. So if what it will be done is it will be directly copied in the project. This ChromeDriver.txt got directly copied in the project.
Okay.
Got my point?
Yes, sir. So you will paste it over here.
Yeah, directly paste it over the project. So it will directly get copied over the project.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Till now you got the point how to like you can do the setup.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Yeah. Now, once you do, let's start with just a simple program to open a browser.
Okay.
And type a URL, any URL of our choice.
Okay.
The first thing which we have to do is we have to write this particular line. Okay, this particular line is, you can say, is constant. Step which we have to write in the program is, in Java class, our execution start from here only, public static void main.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the first step which we will be writing here is system.set property webdriver.chrome.driver, and we'll be giving ChromeDriver.txt.
That exe file.
Which is this file? This is the file which we have copied here directly.
Okay.
If, see, here is one point. If I would haven't copied here directly in the project and would have stored in my local, I could have also used that. But there what I have to do is I have to mention the whole path here. Like C colon users colon Pratik, then colons downloads, then colon ChromeDriver.txt. So why to write such a lengthy path in the program? So to avoid it, what we are doing here is we are directly copying it in the project. So once we directly copy it in the project, we don't need to mention the path. We directly mention the file name with the extension.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
so this is the first step which we need to write before creating a instance of that Chrome driver.
Okay.
This is mandatory step. So like similarly, if we are using IE, you can write webdriver.ie.driver, here IE driver.exe. Similarly, if you are using Mozilla, you will be writing webdriver.gcode.driver, here you will be using gcode driver. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So once you gave the information to the program, right, we will be using Chrome driver. So it will be okay.
Okay.
So now what is the second step? Okay, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is the second step is we'll be creating a WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver. In this step, what we are doing is we are creating an instance of Chrome driver and storing it in the driver, which is the object of WebDriver class. WebDriver is the parent of Chrome driver, so we can upcast it. This is Java concept. You must remember it. You must be remembering like it is upcasting. We can store the child class object in the parent class object. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I
sir.
created a driver instance. So once I create the driver instance, the new Chrome driver will be instantiated.
Okay.
Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once the new Chrome driver instantiated, to enter the URL value into that Chrome driver, I have to use a command that is called get.
Okay.
So the get command will be how I will be using. I'll be using the object which I have created, that is the I have given the name driver. So I'll be creating driver dot get, and inside the argument I will be passing the URL which I have need to open. See, the point is like the URL which we need to open, we can need like pass it on in as argument of the get command. Okay, got my point?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So here it will be driver.get and will be passing the URL. So what it will do in this particular program is it will open an instance of Chrome driver where it will open a Chrome where it will pass this particular URL and open it. Okay. For now, let's comment it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one more important thing here is like once driver means WebDriver instantiate a Chrome, it create a fresh instance of Chrome driver, means like in that Chrome driver you will not have any cookies or any history stored in it. So let's, for example, if I have browsed Facebook in my Chrome driver that is present already in my system, that particular cache or the password or any history will not be present in the Chrome driver which is opened through this WebDriver. WebDriver
Okay.
always opens a instance with like a new installed Chrome in your system. It has nothing saved in it, no history, no cookies, no history. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's run the program. So you got the point. It created an instance of Chrome driver, open the Chrome driver and open Google for me, www.google.com.
Yes, sir.
Got my
Yes, sir.
point?
Yes, sir.
Now if I go to history, you'll see there will be no history except this one particular google.com,
Yes, sir.
because it opens a fresh instance with no history, no cookies, nothing stored in it. Got my point? So there
Yes,
are
sir.
two ways. There are two ways where I can be like able to open the URL in the Chrome driver. So this is one way. Another way is either you can open a URL in the Chrome driver using .get or using .navigate.to. Okay, always remember. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
Suvam.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh. So always remember, like you can open the URL by two ways. One is .get, one is .navigate.to. So always remember, like Selenium WebDriver uses HTTP protocol for internal browsing communication. So if you just give www.google.com, it will not work. You have to mandatorily give HTTP. because it used this HTTP protocol for internal browser communication. Got my point?
No, sir. Can you please repeat another time?
Selenium WebDriver uses HTTP protocol for internal browser communication. So once this, once the URL will communicate with the browser using Selenium, then you have to do it using HTTP protocol. So this HTTP is mandatory. Only www.google.chrome, if you will write, it will not work. Okay. You have
Okay.
write the protocol. You have to mention the protocol, that is HTTP protocol. Got my
Okay.
point?
Yes, sir.
So we have opened a URL using .get. Now I'll be opening the URL using .navigate.to. So what's the point here is, let me run the particular file again. So now this particular site got opened. Got
Yes,
my
sir.
point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's say, for example, my simple task is I want to pass a username and password and click on sign in.
Okay.
Okay. So what I have to do is, first I have to create the XPath of this particular web element.
Yes, sir.
Got my XPath right?
Yes, sir.
So what I have to do is driver. See how I'll write driver dot find element,
Okay.
then by dot XPath.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
by normal English you can understand, means it is telling the driver to find the element by what, by you're using XPath whose value is this one, which will be giving. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So in that particular web element, what operation we want to do is to send keys, like we have to enter a value. So for that we'll be using send keys. Okay.
Okay.
So you understood this line of code to
Yes, sir.
enter a value to the particular web element. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I can
Yeah.
understand the Mercury, which the site name, na only given that.
No, Mercury,
Then
just I want manually what I'm doing. Manually here, I'm writing Mercury, that particular operation I'll be doing in this particular piece of code. I'll be means inserting Mercury in that web element. That's it.
okay.
Got my point?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, see. Here, password is the value of which attribute? Name attribute.
Yes, sir.
See, here I don't want to use XPath. I want to identify this particular web element using name attribute. So what I
Okay,
will
sir.
be using by.name, and I will be directly giving the value of that attribute.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
by.name. Similarly, once I identified, I just want to send the value here also, like the above one.
Dot send
Like what I
keys.
dot send keys, this particular operation I again have to want to send Mercury.
Okay.
Now, what operation I want to do is I want to click on this particular button.
Yes, sir.
Sir, repeat the password line, sir.
What you didn't understood? Tell me.
Sir, second line we have find out the expert or no? No.
Hmm?
So
Second line?
second line, so we also find the expert or no?
No, we haven't find expert. I told na. There is a name attribute whose value is password, right? See the point what I did. Here there is an attribute name whose value is password. Okay, and while I am searching password in the search field, I am finding only one web element whose name attribute has password value. This is a visible text, and this is one. Okay, so only one web element is present whose name attribute has password value. So this is unique with respect to name attribute. So what I did is, without writing the expert, I directly used by.name and gave it
Okay.
value. Got my point?
Yes.
Yeah. So similarly, if you see here, login name attribute with value login is also unique, and it's only present for this particular web element sign in button. So here also I can use the particular like web element value. So what operation? Please put the mic on mute. Background noise is coming. Hello. Yeah. So what particular operation I want to do is here I want to click the sign in button. Okay.
Okay.
Shubham. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what particular action I want to do is click the sign in button. So what I'll do is I just identify the particular web element. So I just dot click.
Click.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So let's execute what happens. So what basically I did is I entered value in this to text area and then click the sign in button. Okay.
Okay.
So is the background noise coming from your system, Subham? Hello? Hello?
Sir, now fine?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
No, no.
Now
The
fine?
some background noise were coming. So it was from your system.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, might be, sir. There's some person is outside shouting.
So yeah, you should keep on mute. Okay, see. So it logged into my particular like URL which we have opened. So to like you, if you want to view, so here it is executing very rapidly, so you are not able to view. So let's, for example, I keep a particular wait so that you can view step by step how it is happening. Okay, so for that we use thread dot sleep. Okay. Now see what it will do is it will wait for 2 seconds before executing the next line of code. So you can have a clear idea and you can like view how it is going carried on process by process.
Sir,
So
this
now let's
2000 is on second or something like that?
it's in milliseconds, so it will wait for 2 seconds.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So now let's execute. See, first it opened the browser, then it wrote Mercury in the first text area, then second area it wrote Mercury, then now it clicked on sign in. So after it clicked on sign in, the next page, the home page gets opened. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
like say for example, this is getting opened and I just want to close it after my execution gets over. So for that, what I can do is I can write a program driver.close.
Okay.
Shubham, your background noise is coming. It's not to Vina's system.
Okay, sir. I'm getting mute.
Yeah. So see, once it clicked on login and get logged in into the home page, you'll see it will close the system. Means it will close the browser which is not open. So for that we'll be using driver.close. See, it got closed by tone. So driver.close closes the driver instance which is open. So let's say for example, if there is a scenario in which if I click a certain link up another, you can say is window is opening, or you can say another browser got opened, so there driver.close will not work because driver.close will only close the current window in which execution is start means being done. Let's say for example, once you click a link and a new drive means Chrome browser opens, then if I write driver.close, then that particular new driver which got opened will get closed. But if I want to close all the browser which got open in the particular execution cycle, there I have to use driver.quit.
Okay,
So
sir.
driver.quit. So driver.quit will close all the browser instance that is open in a particular execution, but driver.close will only close the current window which is being under active state. Now, so again go back, again we can go see. So here what I can do is after login, I want to go back to the page which was present earlier. So what I can do is okay.
Okay, sir.
Again, I want to go for the next fresh page. So I have to go to the forward button. I have to click the forward button. So what I can do is again is forward. If I want to refresh a page, Okay. So what it will be doing here is it will be clicking, means it will perform the exact function which is done by clicking the back button of the browser. Here, oh sorry, here what it will happen is it will perform the exact function which is done by clicking the forward button of the browser, and here F2 or refresh, what you will do to refresh a page, that will be getting performed. So let's see what happens. You can directly run from here also. This button you can click and it will show the recently run Java file. So you can directly run here from here also.
Okay, sir.
See, first the sign in process which we have done earlier, it will happen. Then it will go back, driver.navigate to back. Now it will go to forward, driver.navigate to forward. Now it will refresh the page. Now see, it refreshed the page. Then it will close the page. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Now if I want to like print the title of the page, like once you open here, let's say for example this one, this is the URL of the page, but what is the title of the page? Title of the page is download Chrome driver, web driver from Chrome, which is shown here. This is the title of the page. So let's say for example I want to obtain the title of the page. So what I have to do, the current page in which I have, like say for example after login I want to obtain the title of the page. So what I will do is driver.get title. So you can obtain the title of the current page which is under active mode of execution. Similarly, also if we like also obtain the URL which is opened. Let's say for example, I want to obtain the URL also. By that you can obtain the current URL of the current page which is under active mode of execution. So let me run this. See, here it wrote for me, here it wrote what in console, the title of the current page, find applied Mercury tools, and the URL of that current page.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the particular URL. So I got
Yes.
the URL and current page. Now see, for example, let's say till now I have done some activities in the Chrome. So some history or some cookies are got stored for this particular activities I did in the browser. Let's say for example there is an requirement in a but before a particular line of execution I need to clear all the browser history which are being stored. Means for the first time which will be opening, it will a fresh instance, but once I type a URL and do some activity, some history and cache will be stored. So but let's say for example there is a test case requirement before a particular line of execution that browser cookies and all the history should be cleared. So for that also we have an option in which all the history till now which have been saved will be getting cleared, right? So for that what we'll be using is driver dot manage dot delete all cookies. So here it will be up this particular means the history and cookies, everything which is being stored for this particular lines of execution would get cleared in this particular line. So when it come to this particular line, it will be again a fresh browser with no history, no cookies, and nothing stored in it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So one more thing you must be noticing is that once the execution is being done, it is not done in a full browser. It is in a minimize mode. Let's see, now you'll notice because I told you. So for that there is also an option which I'll be adding it once you notice it. Let's see. See here the whole browser is not is in maximized state, it is in minimized state. The whole execution is being done in the minimized state only, but I want it to be in the maximized state. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So for that also there is one option which we'll be using here. We'll be using it before hitting the URL. Driver manage dot window dot maximize. Okay. So what will happen is,
Yes, sir.
now see the window got maximized, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now you see the execution window got maximized to full screen, but before it was in a minimized state. You got the point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Now see. So I had already told you, like in a situation, there was also situation like you can say you could not write the expath because that particular element vanishes once the cursor is moved from it, right? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So for that instance, once you click the cursor by code and before it gets vanishes, you can capture the page source of the like HTML page source of that website in the code itself, so that you
Yes, sir.
would have the page source with you handy and you can extract the extract from it. So for that also what we are using is like let's say for example after login I want the page source, or after refresh I want the page source because it will be a lengthy one, so I'm giving it to last. So get page source. So it will like print the entire page source here. So even if you misses it while inspecting in the Chrome, you will get it in the console and you can identify that particular web length web element XPath from this page source. Okay.
Okay, sir.
See, the entire page source got printed in my console. Got my point? Starting from
Yes.
HTML, it got printed up to the last ending HTML. So if, say for example, some hidden element got misses out while writing XPath in the Chrome inspector, you can just print it exactly after that element comes here in the console and extract the XPath from the particular web element here. Okay. You got
Yes, sir.
clear? You got the username password. This is a demo site for tester. So Mercury will be the username, Mercury will be the password. Up to this we have written the code up to sign in. So in home assignment, what you will be doing is, after you log in into this particular, so this is a demo site, that's why we can going back even after login. If it is a genuine site, you cannot go back because there will be security blocking. Okay.
Yes, sir. It will another time ask for password, user ID password.
Yeah. It's a demo set, so that's why you are able to go back and fro from here. Anyways, yeah. So what you will be doing in home assignment is you just sign into this particular URL which we did already in our code. Then you try to book a particular flight. So what we'll be doing is, once you log in, if leave this drop down, because drop down part we haven't covered, we'll be covering in the next session. So you just click it in business class, then continue, then again click here, then click here, then continue, then give the first name, last name, number, every text area which is present except the drop down. Don't deal with drop down, leave the drop down as it is with the default values. Except drop down, enter all the text areas with a certain values, and then after that click on secure purchase. So come navigate to this particular page which will show your itinerary has been booked using Selenium as your home assignment.